Boy, you are in for it today. We are going to meet a guy who steals from the rich and gives to the poor. He calls himself a modern-day Robin Hood. We're going to find out why he does it, what it feels like doing it. Meet Reverend Bud Green. During the Los Angeles riots, Reverend Green looted stores and destroyed property. The items he stole he either gave away to the poor or sold and gave the money to the poor. Now he continues to steal from the rich and gives to the poor. Tell us how this all began.
Well, I've always been kind of a looter in that I always try to take what I don't buy for, because the rich people, they control the poor people. We're being exploited. So if you can get away with stealing from the rich people, that's good. That's godly, I'm trying to tell people.
Well, it's certainly not, thou shalt not steal. It's certainly not...
Well, the Lord also says, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh. So I play the role of taking for the Lord.
Well, if the good Lord's going to... I don't want to get into a Bible argument here, but if the good Lord's going to take, let him take. He doesn't need any aids.
Well, we're his helpers, Jerry.
Well, obviously, society cannot exist if people go around and say, I think I'm going to take whatever I want. Because if everybody would take, then obviously you have total chaos, and then the poor would even be worse off than now because the rich would be more powerful and be able to take more.
But Jerry, that's one of the arguments for the poor. When the rich loot the S&Ls, it's okay. But when the poor take some diapers from the neighborhood store, that's a crime. That's what I'm trying to say is hypocritical.
Well, why don't we agree that no taking is okay?
Because the rich have gotten rich by stealing from the poor. That's how you get rich. You capitalize on the misfortune of other people. That's why it's called capitalism. So the job of the poor is to steal back what the rich have stolen from them.
Well, obviously, most of us don't agree with you. But let's now go into what you do. How do you steal?
Well,
and are you sure you're not the Lone Ranger? What the heck is... I mean...
I'm a modern day Robin Hood, so we have to be more modern.
Yeah, but he didn't wear a mask. Why are you wearing a mask?
Well, I'm afraid to show my true face because, as you know, for the looters in LA, they're trying to give people 6 months to a year in jail if they're caught looting.
Well, why, if you committed a crime and you're on television now admitting to a crime, and I assume you're being sincere, why shouldn't you go to jail? You committed a crime.
Because I'm a freedom fighter, Jerry, and there should be amnesty for all the people involved in the riots, because the riots weren't an act of anarchy. They were an act of rebellion. That's what we're trying to tell people. It's a rich rebellion against the poor.
What did you do during the riots?
Well, we stole things from like electronic stores, hardware stores, things like that, things that we could sell and then use the money to give to the poor.
Some of the people you stole from were poor themselves.
Not at all. If you own a store, you're definitely richer than most people. So if you have that's very true though. Even if, you know, a lot of times we try to steal from the major chain stores. So these people are ultra rich. But even as you saw from the Korean merchants who live in the black communities, the Korean merchants are getting rich off the black people. So that was justified as well.
So you have been anointed as one that is allowed to go around and steal.
That's right. I'm going to quote from the Bible here to show you that it is
You can quote that
justified.
Bible in jail, though, can't you? Because you violated the law. Why shouldn't you go to jail?
I violated man's law, but I obeyed God's law.
So go to man's jail, not God's jail.
Well, let me show you. Let me show you what God has to say on the subject of rioting and looting. This is Revelations 18:9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with Babylon, which stands for L.A., shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning.
Okay, first of all...
No, one more, Jerry.
I doubt that Babylon would be the same as the City of Angels, which is what Los Angeles is.
Well, we all know they call it Hollywood Babylon. It's another name for it. Let me quote one more thing now.
One more.
Revelations 18:11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. That is advocating looting.
Well, that's a strange interpretation. Let me just say, so one, you took, what do you take? You stole VCRs, what else you do?
Well, I'm in a rock band, which is called Just Say Yes. So we stole music equipment, things like that, things that we could use.
Well, that's something the poor need. They're starving to death and you're...
Well, I took for the poor, and we also took for the rock band, because what I'm doing with my music is I'm expressing the truth to the poor.
So you stole for yourself?
And for the poor.
Well,
I took a boombox for myself so I could play the music as we're walking down the street.
If we buy your philosophy, then everybody is allowed to steal that has a cause.
Exactly.
Well, if everybody's allowed to steal, then obviously the survivors will only be the strongest.
Well, the
Is
whole
that
thing,
the kind
Jerry,
of world you're advocating? What kind of religion is
well,
that?
the world is already based on the strongest. We're trying to tell the poor people to rise up. That's the only way we can, Jerry.
Okay.
We have no voice. We have no say. We have to burn to
The
make them
riots
pay.
are now over. What are you doing now?
Well, we're still trying to advocate what's going on, looting. We're doing a series of benefit concerts, my band, for the people who got caught looting to help them get out of jail.
You know, we're kind of snickering here, but do you understand when you go on television and you say, we advocate rioting, we advocate looting, we advocate breaking the law, that you in a sense you in fact are breaking the law yourself?
I know damn well, but like I said, that's an unjust law, and I have no problem breaking that law.
Tell the judge. Tell the judge.
Well, the judges are all paid off by the rich people anyway. How come Mike Tyson goes to jail and William Kennedy Smith doesn't? Because he's white and he's rich, even though Mike Tyson had money. Because he's black, he went to jail.
Tell me about the well, I'm not even going to, I mean, that's
part of it, though. The justice system, as we all know, Rodney King, if Rodney King had been white, the 4 officers would have gone to jail. Because he's black, they got off.
We may very well, there may be those that very well agree of the injustice of the Rodney King case. Flat out, we agree with that. But that does not translate, because of that injustice, therefore, you, white Bud Green, can go out into somebody's, let me finish, can go into somebody's store for items that they purchased and take it for your band. I'm sorry, I'm
for my
pretty
band
liberal.
And for the people. In fact,
No.
I've got some money that I looted here that we sold the merchandise with, and I like to spread some of the money to the people who may need some money here in this town.
Well, this is receiving stolen property, so don't take it.
Who wants some? Go ahead and grab from the Reverend Bud. This is money that's been gotten by the rich pigs. It's your duty to take it because it's unjust money that they had gotten.
Okay. Let me suggest. Okay. Okay, have a seat. Take $1 back. You're going to need it for your equipment. Now. Yeah, let me suggest.
Well, hey, hold on.
Let me suggest.
Hey, don't throw the money at me. Throw it at rich pigs like Dan Quayle who stole it. I didn't steal it.
Okay, what I would suggest is that those that have picked up the money not take it, because if he's been on television saying that he stole it, then you're receiving stolen property. You don't want to be doing that, so leave the money there. Now,
you know what that proves,
what is
Jerry?
this telemarketing scheme? What's this telemarketing scheme you've got?
Well, I have done telemarketing before. In fact, we've done it for the police organizations.
Yeah.
Because everybody who knows telemarketing is a very corrupt industry. So somebody like me with long hair and a beard who can't get a regular job, I have done telemarketing before, raising money under the guise of for the police, which is legal. Part of it does go to the pigs, but the bulk of it goes to people like me who are trying to use the money to overthrow the pigs. So I feel really good about that.
Why, first of all, why would you call police officers pigs?
Because they are pigs.
When they're human beings, you may not like what they do, but look at you. I mean, what you're doing...
They call themselves pigs, did you know?
What you're doing is totally dishonest. What you're doing is saying to all the people around you, I don't respect you enough to even tell you the truth. I will take your money if I can, no matter how hard you work for it, no matter how hard you study to get ahead, to be the best person you know how to be.
Wait, don't buy that American dream stuff, Jerry. You were the mayor of Cincinnati. You were part of that corrupt higher class. I feel good taking from people like you. That's not wrong. That's good.
Okay. Well, your political judgment may be right, but there is no basis to anybody for you going to anointing yourself that you can take money from anybody else that you didn't work for, that isn't yours. You are, if we're talking about anybody being a pig, I'm looking at one right now.
Well,
that's not even gutsy enough. If you believed what you said, if you believed...
I believe it fully, and I'm not a pig.
Then you would have the guts to take off that hat and take off that mask and show people who you are, to have the courage of your convictions.
Well,
let's see who you are.
I'll wait.
Because I tell you what, I can be brave if nobody knows what I'm saying. I can hide on a telephone and make up a scam to get people's money if I'm not brave enough. But Robin Hood was brave enough to stand up and say what he believed in.
Well, I tell you what,
You're
I will
not.
show my face before the end of the show. I prefer to be masked right now, but I will let you see who I am. I've been on a lot of TV shows anyway, so I think a lot of people have seen me before
So
anyway.
if the police are watching, they know where to find Bud Green.
Tell them to look
who
for
now
Bud
on
Green.
television admits that he stole and looted.
They know where to look for Bud Green. I'll be on any street corner exhorting the poor people to rise up against the rich people. I have my band. We'll be in the clubs advocating revolution. That's where they're going to find Reverend Bud Green.
Are you a good musician?
I'm more of a revolutionary musician, but I'm proud of it because my music is designed to let people know what's going on. We have a great song called Burn the Flag, which is about how corrupt this flag is.
When we come back, meet Deborah McGee. She says, I'm poor, but I don't want the Reverend's handouts. It's stolen merchandise, and he should be put in jail. With her is Tom Cordish. He says, I'm one paycheck from being homeless, but I don't need the Reverend's handouts. Being a Christian, he also says, where in the Bible does it say steal? And with him is Jack Baker. He says the Reverend's handouts saved his life, and now he is joined in Robin Hood's fight against the rich. He now calls himself an African American on a Caucasian safari. What does that mean?
What that means is when the rioting broke out in Los Angeles, April 29th, I was one of the people who used to believe that this country stood for justice for all people. I stood on the corner of Wilcox and Hollywood Boulevard advocating the people to rise up and tear this sucker down. And I noticed that most of the natives that were restless were white natives. And they went out and they tore it down and they looted and they stole. And so here I am, a missionary to those people. This Rainbow Coalition that Jesse Jackson always talks about is more than just black people. The news tried to make it seem like most of the people that were rioting were black people, that it was all in the black areas, but they tried to burn down all of Los Angeles, and it was mostly young white kids, and I say more power to them.
You hear this, what is your reaction?
Outrage.
Yes.
It should never have happened.
Exactly.
It should never have happened. God did not tell you to go out, steal this, take this, because
he
you
did.
no,
I
he
just
did
quoted
not.
from the Bible
Because
right
you
here,
wanted
ma'am.
to give it from the rich to the poor.
Exactly.
He did not tell you to do that.
This country was founded by people who
That
did
makes
those
no
things
difference.
by
That makes no
their own
difference.
country.
It makes no difference. You cannot go out and steal
This
something.
Okay, let her
it's
finish.
all
Oh,
right.
yes, you
No,
can.
you can't.
Oh, yes, you
How?
can.
How?
We've already done it.
I know. You done
Let
it,
her-
and it was against the law. All right?
Man's law, not
Against
God's law.
whose law?
But hey, you're supposed to be with God, right?
God
He
says
did
he's
not
supposed
tell
to
you
take care
no,
of
you're
everybody.
not.
Okay.
No, you're not. If you're with God,
One at a
that's
time.
unmasked. Let me see you. Let this crowd see you.
God says it's easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle than for a rich pig to go to heaven.
Well, you're not going there either. You are destined for hell.
No, I'm not.
You are destined for hell.
I'm
And that's
doing-
where you will go.
I'm doing God's
No, you're
work
not
on
doing
earth.
God's work. You're doing your own work.
Yeah.
That's the work you're doing.
I'm doing God's
Your work.
Okay.
It's only your work.
Now, what's your reaction to this?
I'm amused.
By idiots. By idiots.
I can't believe that a reverend can misquote the Bible so poorly.
Read it right here. You want to read the
He's a
passage
street
yourself?
reverend.
Wait a
He's
second,
not
did you
a reverend.
steal that Bible?
I looted it from the hotel.
From,
All right.
From a hotel here?
Yeah.
Let's assume,
Arrest me if you will.
okay, is there
there police in
anything,
the house?
go ahead, I don't want to interrupt you.
It's just amazing. It's also written that the devil comes to steal, rob, and destroy.
Well, you know what they called Ronald Reagan? Reagan Hood, because he stole from the poor and gave it to the rich. It's time for Robin Hood to come back and steal from the rich and give to the poor.
You're not Robin Hood.
I'm a modern day Robin
You're
Hood.
not Robin Hood. You're not a modern day Robin
why-
Hood. You are
Jerry,
just a thief at
Jerry,
heart, and that's all it is.
Let's look
you
at
are
why,
just a thief.
hold on, why is Robin Hood a hero? He stole from the rich and gave to the poor. That's what I'm doing. Why am I
You're
bad?
not a
Robin Hood's
hero.
Hey,
just
wake
an
up,
outright thief.
wake up, it's a movie.
Yeah.
Well, it's
that
a
was
tale.
a movie. That's right. That was a movie.
It's an old folk tale.
You're just a big joke.
I would just like to know, he said he robbed from the rich, and whatever you looted, you sold so you could get money to give to the poor.
helped Jack get a
what
place
in
to
the
live.
hell? Did you sell that back to the rich?
To the pawn shops, yeah.
Well, does that make any sense? That's
Exactly, because the rich don't care. They'll buy stolen merchandise.
And-
That's how they get rich.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's how they get rich. They buy the stolen
I have
merchandise
one-
at a small fraction of what it's really worth.
But that's not what you stated. You stated you rob from the rich and give to the poor.
That's what I did.
But
Whatever.
no, how? You just stated that you sold it to the rich.
right.
gave
He
money to
sells
the
it
people who
back
need
to the
more.
rich.
Yeah. I bet that money's in your pocket.
How did the Reverend... Tell me specifically how the Reverend... And I'm calling you a Reverend simply because you want to be called
Me and the
one, not
Reverend-
because you have met any requirements to be
Well,
one.
I'm ordained
Me and
by
the
God,
Reverend
Jerry.
were
Yeah,
standing in an electronics store.
Yes.
And stole something.
And then, will you wait a minute, lady? Look, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. You've been
That
talking
you
and
are a
yakking your
thief.
mouth.
That's the benefit of
You
the
are a
doubt.
big mouth.
That's all right.
Now,
Okay. She's also got a very large thumbnail. Let me just see it. Those are huge. Okay, so watch yourself. Now go ahead. Talk.
those of us that became a part of Reverend Bud's Merry Men, as we call ourselves now, we took the merchandise from the electronics store, we turned it into pawn shops, and anybody else that would buy it, and we fed our families, we put roofs over our heads. That's what we did with the money.
But you understand that if everybody does it, I mean, you did it, and you figure, fine, I got away with it. We'll see if you get away with it. But let's say you do. But everybody, then suddenly everybody says that. And then all of a sudden you have nothing but 250 million people running around stealing from each other. The society isn't going to stand for just you being allowed to steal. If you say that running into somebody's store, grabbing something and not paying for it is okay, then everybody suddenly can do it. We will have no more stores. We will have nobody doing anything anymore. All they will do is try and steal. The world doesn't work like that. Doesn't work
But they
like that.
think they do.
Well, Jerry, how come 1% of the population owns over 90% of the wealth? That's looting right there.
I'm not here to say that any political system is perfect. What we're talking about is whether it's okay under any system to say, I want, therefore I will take
What
and
about
screw
the
everybody
S&L
else.
crisis,
The
Jerry?
good Reverend, that's not the way life works.
Why doesn't
And
the
God doesn't
system
want
do
us to do that
something
either.
about sharing the wealth? Then?
right.
I'm just
Why?
gonna
Why
get-
not? You know,
Well, 'cause
why
you
can't we
go
get
get a job,
a
you
living?
can make your
Why
own
can't we
wealth.
get a
Wait a
living
minute, sir,
minimum
you have
wage?
still-
Sir, why don't you get a
Hey,
job?
before, lady,
you
I want to
are
tell you
out
something.
stealing,
Before
outright
I
stealing.
was out stealing, I've been a
Evidently you
producer,
were doing
a
nothing
director,
else
a
before,
writer.
but
I'm
stealing.
Jack Baker. They call me a jack of all trades because I am very well educated. And I
If
know
you
how
were
to do
so
a whole
very
bunch of
well
things, but I
educated,
can't
you would
get a
not
job.
be in cahoots
I
with
can't get a
him.
job.
Sir.
Stealing.
I can't
Sir.
get a
Okay.
You
job.
would not be in cahoots with him. You
I'd
can
rather
get
be
a
in
job.
cahoots with
You can go to the
him than
dishwasher
you,
job.
and all you do is pay lip service to a lot of
Hey,
American
that's all
dreams
right.
that
That's
aren't
all
happening.
right.
Jerry,
That is
One at a
all
time.
right.
You are among
I'm
the
doing better
mindless
than you.
followers. You
I
are
have
mindless.
a job, and you are a thief.
You are mindless.
Okay, now we can't hear either.
Jerry,
All right.
Jerry,
No
we didn't
brains
steal
at
the
all.
You
merchandise.
sitting
We
on
liberated the merchandise.
You didn't steal it?
We liberated.
I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt that you're smart. Have you ever heard of the French Revolution, the poor stealing from the rich, and then there was complete anarchy? People were killed. I mean, why don't you just learn from history? This is not smart. Why don't you just get a job? If you're, if you're so poor, get a
They're
job.
not smart enough to go out and get a job. They figure they can go in and they can steal.
I
This
tell
is
you,
what
lady,
they do.
I
There are
am
no
college
jobs. We have
educated.
There are
10%
jobs.
employment.
There
All
are
kinds of
jobs.
fields.
Anywhere
One at a
you
time.
go, there is a
Time
job.
out. Wait,
In
one
my
second.
own
Job?
field.
Can't you
Wait,
keep a
can't
job
hear
then?
everyone talk.
Is it our fault that you can't keep a job so you have to steal from us? We're
It's
not
not
rich.
can't keep a job, lady. It's not
You
can't
don't.
keep a
That's
job.
right.
You don't want a job.
Can't
I have
earn
a
an
job.
honest
I'm a
living. That's the
filmmaker.
problem.
You can earn
I made a
honest
film
living.
in
What it is,
September
you
of
don't
last
want to
year
live
that I
off
can't
a
even
minimum
sell.
wage.
Well,
You think
maybe,
someone owes you
one
something.
second, maybe the people don't like the movie. Hey, you know, that could be it. You made a film, they didn't like it. So then you try again. Lots of people try. You bake bread, they don't like the bread, you got to bake another loaf. You know, welcome to the real world. You got to be able to produce something that people want.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Well, that's a pretty simplistic way to look at
I
it.
was just going to say the same thing
If we
this lady
did
did.
wrong, we
Nice
have a right to
sound
make
bite,
it right.
lady.
If they are so concerned about the poor, why don't they make an honest living, make some of their own money, and give their own money away?
Why? When they
Because-
can steal it from the rich. They're
Because
stealing it from the rich.
Because the rich
I'ma give
pigs
it
who
to the
control
poor.
this country, like George Bush and Dan Quayle, won't let the poor people make an honest living.
If you were
It's
both
called
so
trickle-down
educated, you could be
economics.
what Bush
Okay.
is.
Rich people piss on us and they want us to drink their piss. That's what the trickle-down is.
All right, clean it up, clean it up.
That's
I
called
work for a
trickle-down.
human service agency, and I spend a lot of my time raising money. And a lot of the agency that I work at spends a huge amount of time raising money. And I don't condone this, but what's really funny to me is how I get so frustrated sometimes having to write grants, and I sit in meetings with people, you know, and have to prove and do all kinds of songs and dances to prove to them that what we do at our agency is important. That, you know,
You can understand the anger, the frustration. You don't approve of the means, but you understand the anger. Well, I think a lot of people understand the anger, and I think there's some response, perhaps not right. I think what we're talking about today, whether stealing is the proper response. No one is suggesting that we don't have a problem here. The fact that there's so many people of low income or no income in our society, no one's belittling that. Today's show is about whether the response to poverty is, hey, everybody, grab what you can, to hell with anybody else. And okay, I'm going to have you, and then I need to go to question and break, and I'll be right back to you.
Okay, I can't believe the Reverend Bud or you really think stealing is the answer. And I'd like to ask you, did you go to University of California? I'll bet you are college educated.
I am, and what I learned at college is that it's a white
capitalist culture. And you did not come from poor circumstances. Did you come from poor circumstances?
I came from middle class suburbia.
That's all I wanted to know.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to meet a man who says there's opportunity for everybody in America. We'll be right back.